The next fight is the trans rights fight.
I think the next frontier is gender.
And I see now, our trans brethren going through all the same stuff again.
I think that the trans conversation is in the mainstream is really just beginning.
We probably need to fight for more acceptance of gender diversity.
We still have a long way to go in regards to legislation, particularly for the trans community. There's a lot of laws that we need to address that are outdated and that stop us living our best lives. In Victoria, we've had some wins that other states haven't had, so it would be great to see things like the birth certificate reform Australia-wide, so that we can all have appropriate identification.
The one really, really important thing that can help is that for trans people, the surgery should be covered by Medicare, and there really is no excuse that it isn't.
I think letting go of gender norms, and we're seeing overseas that there are a lot of trans rights bills that are revoking trans rights, which is super upsetting to see.
I think education, I think that is the main issue I find is a lot of the people who are bigoted or homophobic or transphobic, a lot of them are just uneducated. And I don't blame them for that because some of them just haven't been taught themselves.
Even more people being accepting of people of our community.
People that aren't accepting to be more accepting.
Complete and total acceptance, I'd say. Kind of keep it going.
In the last few years, a lot of the world seems to be becoming more conservative, which could be a worry for queer people and all sorts of diverse people.
I think one of the things we have to be very aware of is that the progress we've made can be lost. It's not a permanent thing necessarily. You keep fighting because it can disappear.
I think the main thing is for safety to be the lived expression of how people relate, and I think that's the same for a lot of different diversities, not just ours.
But I also think that intersections really matter, and I know for me, I for a long time identified as bi, and only very recently realised that I was kind of dealing with the double whammy of being a woman and being gay, and that a lot of women feel a lot of pressure, just in general, all women, including heterosexual women, feel a lot of pressure to conform to the male gaze and male ideas of how women should be. So that intersection of being queer and a woman, or, queer and a person of colour, those sorts of things, the experiences are totally different, and a lot of the time the LGBTIQ narrative has been devoted to mostly white gay men, and even though their stories aren't being told in anywhere near the breadth of humanity that they are, it's still been the main lens that everyone's got, and I think we kind of need to push back against that and tell everyone else's stories as well.
Ideally, I would love us to get to a point where we don't have to fight for the things. I feel like we have had to fight, and we absolutely have to fight, and we stand on the shoulders of giants, but that thing where it would really be nice if mainstream society could just start being a bit more decent about these things.
I think we just have to keep working towards positive attitudes. So not just acceptance, we want encouragement, we want support and love, just like everyone else.